Hi Pisces, welcome back to Love from a Leo. My name is Tay, otherwise known as Love from a Leo, and this is my channel. So just as a disclaimer, I know that this video is coming out late. You and Sagittarius were my last two signs, and let me tell you that that full moon that just occurred, it literally threw me for a complete loop. Yeah, that full moon was not playing. Okay, so there's been huge changes in my life, I guess for the best, because I mean, you know, you got to move forward, you got to make things happen. So my normal background is definitely not what it usually is, but it's not about what you see, it's about the message that you hear. But yeah, hopefully this is like a big transformation for me, for you guys, and an elevation so that my frequency is higher and I can give you messages, you know, that are out of this world, literally. So I do have your focus here, so we're going to go ahead and start. This is for July. So interestingly enough, I was just talking about transformations, and this is your card here, and your focus is Pluto. Pluto is 22 is my number, and it's here. So it's kind of interesting how it took all this time for me to get to your video, your message, and this card comes out, and it hasn't came out in a long time. So Pluto, let's talk about it. I have a video on it if you want to get really deep into it, but this energy that you're going to be feeling throughout July is all about transformation, deep transformation. As we know, sometimes transformation is very difficult, especially if it's something you've been attached to for a long time. Transformation also deals with in the 3D realm of death, but death is really just the rebirth. It's just transitioning to something else. It's kind of a really touchy subject, so I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I just feel like there's lots of rebirths happening. There's lots of deaths happening, as far as not physically, but I mean like spiritually. A lot of people are elevating energetically. Does that make sense? And I think it's because of that full moon that just happened, but also just so many other things just that's going on right now. I just feel like there's an elevation within the frequency, and as a Pisces, I'm sure you can feel this. So for those of you who are going through things that are tough right now, or if you're going through things where you can't really see what's happening and you really just have to feel it out energetically, I'm here with you, and I definitely feel what you're going through. Okay, so we're gonna make the best of this, and we're gonna see what lessons that we're supposed to be learning right now, because in this lifetime and all lifetimes, we are here to experience. We're not here to be a part of whatever we're going through. We're here to observe and to learn and become better, and just keep that in mind, okay? Because when you have to go through dark situations, it just means that light is coming soon, and light will be so appreciated. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's just get to this reading, okay? So lots of changes. I feel like there's going to be a really deep message. So we're going to start off with you know, the actual month, what's going to be happening through the beginning, middle, and end, and then we're going to segue into the oracle card, which is basically going to be the overall message of what this whole month for you is about. So make sure you stay tuned for that. The dates will be below on the screen somewhere, so if you want to come back and watch, or if you want to go to a specific date, you can always do that. So let's just get started. All right, so Pisces, July 1st through the 12th. All right, Six of Swords, Queen of Wands, Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so in the beginning of your July, I'm seeing movement. I'm seeing you traveling. I'm seeing you working on your body. I'm seeing you trying to, you know, when you, some people, when they get upset or angry, they work out. I feel like this is what you're doing, but it's not necessarily that you're angry. I think it's more so that you don't really know how else to express yourself at this time, so being physical is helping you. You may have a lot on your mind. I know a lot of people go and run whenever they have a lot that they're thinking about. A lot of you are being very conscious about your health in the beginning of July. I see movement, but I see it in ways that nobody else is seeing. It's just for you. It's movement within yourself, but I feel like it is external, but it's just like you're doing it alone. Queen of Wands is also here. So I see a new fire, like it's like you look beautiful on the outside, but I think there's something that changed on the inside that's causing you to make these movements. I think people are seeing you as strong. I think people are seeing you as assertive. They're seeing that you're holding up very well. But I feel like there's something behind your eyes. There's something deeper that's happening to you throughout this month. Four of Pentacles in reverse. There could be like you're spending a lot of money. Like maybe you took a big hit to your wallet or something like that. So it's kind of all over the place for the beginning of your July. But I feel like this is why you're working out or you're eating better. It's almost like you have to like everything is out of control. So the one thing you can't control is your body. I feel like that's what's happening. So let's see. Why is this Queen of Wands coming up here? The Hermit. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of like, okay, like I can explain this perfectly because this is like my energy, Leo and Virgo here. Okay, so it's like when a fire sign they stand out, right? A Leo, for example. Let's do Leo because I can relate to that. So Leos, we tend to be we stand out, or we want to stand out, but we kind of have that energy where it's like we don't want you to talk to us, or we're kind of like we're shy, but we want everyone to notice us. It's a weird energy, especially with this Hermit energy though. Here it's like you're being quiet. You don't really want to express yourself too much. You don't want to speak to anyone right now. And I feel like it's because you're going through a learning curve. You're going through this process where you're having to kind of like mature. You still have a pride about yourself though, so it's not that you want everyone to feel sorry for you. That's the exact opposite. It's almost like you don't want anyone to feel sorry for you. And then with the Hermit, it's like but you're going through experiences that may put you in a vulnerable state, so you're choosing to stay quiet even though you want people to notice that you're okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and then we have the Four of Pentacles. Why are you spending money? Where is this coming from? Hold on, that was too many cards. The Lovers in reverse. Okay, so maybe you split from your partner. Maybe you guys are going separate ways or something, so maybe you have to get a new place. With the Lovers card, I kind of feel like there's a separation, just period, a separation. The next card is the Star card in reverse. Again, an inner transformation. I feel like, especially if this is like you separated from a spouse or something, I feel like this is something that you didn't necessarily plan, but it's aligned and you're seeing it for yourself. Like nobody is able to tell you. Nobody could have told you that this is going to happen, but now that it's happening, you're starting to see the path that you're supposed to be on. But it does cost money. So that's the downside. But I do feel like it's like the cost of freedom almost. Like how much are you willing to pay to get out of something? So yeah. Wow. Okay, so how are you feeling in the beginning of your July? What's your emotional state like, Pisces? Okay, we got two cards, so I'm going to take both. So we got the Three of Wands, and we also got Temperance. Okay, so you feel like with time, I think you feel really calm, first of all. Let me start there. I think you feel extremely calm. I feel like a lot of what you're feeling is that Pisces energy where you're kind of like, imagine yourself being in the deep waters and just like floating underwater. Does that make sense? Kind of just like floating in space. You're still conscious, but it's almost like you're not really in touch with everything that's happening. It's just like you only have yourself. I don't know if you guys have heard about like I don't know what it's called, but it's like you go in these, it's a big tank full of water and it's pitch black. It's like that. That's what I feel like you're going through. You're not afraid. It's almost just like you don't have a choice but to recognize and acknowledge yourself, and you're going through that now. You also have the Three of Wands of what you're feeling. So to me, this is saying you know that there's better things coming because you feel like, well, damn, it can't get any worse than this. So you went through the hard part. You know something good is going to happen. You know you have to wait. You've matured energetically, so you know that you must allow the experiences to flow. You know what I'm saying? It's that wise energy that you possess naturally, but it is a situation where it's like, damn, like this is a lot to be happening in the beginning of July. Like this is just the beginning of the month. During this time, it will be Cancer season, which deals with the 4th house energy, which is your sister sign because it is a water sign. So I kind of feel like you're going through this phase where you are just going with the flow as usual, but this is a time where it's deeper than that, Pisces. Like I don't know how else to say it. It's deeper than that. 4th house deals with privacy, home life, vulnerability, the emotions that you may not want everyone to see, especially as a Pisces. So yeah, I just kind of feel like you're out there on your own right now, or you feel that way, but you're fine with it because I just feel like there's no other choice at this point. Like this is just what it is for right now. Okay, so how are you showing up in the beginning of July? I'm not seeing anyone else here unless there's a Virgo near you. There could be a fire sign, but I kind of feel like this is all your energy. There could be an Aries though, because we have this card here, the domination card. So you feel like you have to just take life by the reins and go for it, as far as like pushing through. So you're not being weak by any means, My only concern here with what I'm seeing is don't be so hard on yourself if you do start to feel emotions, because I feel like you're trying to block everything out, or you're just trying to go with whatever is happening. But at the same time, if you feel the need to want to be vulnerable, let yourself do that. And don't be afraid to feel that. Like, don't be afraid to feel what you're feeling. I just feel like there's a lot of things that are happening with against your will almost, but you still are extremely determined to keep going. Maybe you don't have a choice. So for some of you, you could have like kids or something and you have to keep pushing for them, but make sure you're still taking care of you. Okay. Wow. Okay. So let's get some advice just to kind of ease in. What is that? I don't even know what that word is. Let's get some advice so we can kind of lighten up the energy here, give you some solution. Judgment, Pluto, which is also your focus for this month. Also, I wanted to remind you guys, with your focus being Pluto, make sure you know where Pluto is at in your chart, okay? Because that house could be activated, or Pluto deals with like the deepest, darkest parts of yourself. And so you may be going through some things that you have buried very, very deep, or things that you don't even want to come to the surface. And if you don't know how to deal with that energy, it won't do anything but make you deal with it. Pluto is a very, very assertive energy. It's very aggressive in its nature, and it doesn't care about your emotions. So you have to kind of protect your own energy while learning how to use that energy. Pluto is one of the most amazing planets to work with, but it is something that's very, very strenuous, and it's not the easiest to deal with. It's like Scorpio. That's what they're ruled by. Okay, so yeah, we have the Judgment here. So I feel like this is saying come to terms with what your reality is, but also know that it's not going to be like this forever. With Judgment, Scorpio energy here, Pluto energy here, you have to go deep into those waters, which basically means you have to like resolve certain issues that I feel like you've buried. That's what I keep hearing. Like, you've buried your issues and now you have to dig them up and deal with them. It's kind of like if you buried something in the cemetery. I know this is pretty morbid, but this is Pluto we're talking about. And you dig up that body because you need to reconcile. You need to speak to that person again. So you literally have to dig it up and face it. Face your demons, face your problems, face your burdens, face your insecurities. Whatever this is, you're doing this now. But just be sure to still leave room for vulnerability for yourself. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and move on into the middle of your July. That was pretty intense for the beginning, but let's go ahead and move into the middle. So this will be the 13th all the way to the 20th. Okay. Okay, so we have Justice in reverse. I feel like some people are gonna be going through karma. Like, karma is gonna come back. Unresolved issues. This may have something to do with other people around you, but I just feel like there's karmic backlash that somehow is going to be attached to you. If you're dealing with legal matters, you may have to spend more money right now, or maybe it's going to be pushed further, like if it's a trial or something, or a settlement. This could also be a divorce, because we just had the Lovers in reverse and all of that. Okay. 8 of Swords in reverse. I feel like there's this energy of no one wanting to speak, no one wanting to say what's actually happening. Everyone's avoiding the problem. Whoever's involved in the situation. Avoidance. Silence. Why is this 8 of Swords in reverse here? Ace of Swords. Yeah, the communication. It's almost clear what everyone knows and what everyone sees has happened, but nobody is speaking about it. Why? Why is no one speaking about this? Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Chariot. Maybe it's not... Maybe people feel like if they speak on this, some people will be offended, or someone's going to step on someone's toes. Someone's going to step out of bounds with what they're saying. And then with the Chariot, I feel like this is happening throughout your Cancer season, obviously, but it's almost like nobody wants it. Like, it happened so fast, nobody wants to talk about it. It happened so quickly, nobody wants to talk about it. I feel like this change was sudden, because Chariot is about something changing very quickly. With the Justice card being here, maybe whatever you guys were wanting to happen, if this was like a legal matter, it didn't happen that way, and it's almost awkward to speak about it because nobody knows how to go on that subject without feeling like they crossed. It's almost like if you talk about it, you're going out of bounds. Okay, that's what I'm feeling. The Justice energy, though, what is this? What is this? There's definitely people here in this situation with you. You're not alone in the middle of your July. Like, there's people here. Could be a Libra. Death. Yeah, there could have been literally a death that nobody wants to talk about, or an ending to something. I feel like it's a divorce though. Like an ending to a family situation, or an ending to, you know, something that was supposed to go a certain way and it just didn't. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this has something to do with your home life, or maybe your family. Could have been a female in your family with the Empress card here. Wow. It may be that something to do with your mom, especially if she has like Libra placements or Cancer placements. Cancer deals with the maternal relationship as well. It's almost like there's something to do with the home, the mom, an ending to something, legal matters, and no communication about it. That's the middle of your July. Okay, so who's all involved in this? Because I see there's definitely people here. Three of Wands is Aries. So there could be an Aries here in the situation. There's also Jupiterian energy. So this could be a Sag as well. And there also could be a Pisces, which is you. So I see all of this here. But again, no speaking. How do you feel in the middle of your July though? What's your internal feelings? We have Queen of Pentacles. You're just focused on your money. I honestly feel like you're avoiding the situation. Like you don't want to be a part of that situation at all. Like you don't want to talk about it either. Queen of Pentacles, to me, maybe you don't have a choice but to focus on money right now in your job. Like I was saying, I feel like there's some people who have like children or someone that they have to take care of. It's almost like you feel like we can talk about this later. Like I have to work on certain things right now. I have to work on something else. Or you feel like if we sit here and talk about it, nobody's going to be changing anything. No one's going to be doing anything about it. So let me go do what I got to do. But I still feel like you're avoiding it. Okay, so how are you showing up in the middle of your July? How are people seeing you? How are you being viewed? Knowledge. I feel like people see you kind of wandering. Like maybe you're stuck in your head, or maybe... I feel like some of you have this thing that only people that are closest to you know about, like a defense mechanism. So like maybe if something tragic happened, you tend to tune everyone out, or you tend to like block everything out. I feel like that's what you're doing, and the people that truly know you, they know that you're doing this, but again, nobody wants to talk about it. Yeah, it's Aquarius energy here. I feel like you're kind of out of space. I feel like people kind of feel like you're not here on Earth. Like they're like, hello Pisces, I'm talking to you, and you're like, oh, like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, it's kind of that energy where Pisces goes too deep into the Neptune energy and they start daydreaming, or they start trying to disconnect from the world. Escapism, that's what it is. Escapism. I think people are seeing you do this. Try not to do that destructively, Pisces, like drinking or going out, partying, being too promiscuous. Make sure you're balancing out whatever your vice is, because I feel like it may pop up, or maybe you have like a really toxic way of like disconnecting, which kind of deals with this Aquarius energy here. So just be very careful with that. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing for the middle of your July. We're going to go ahead and segue to the end. So this is going to be the 22nd through the 31st of your July. Ten of Cups in reverse, broken promises, or just sadness within a home life or family life. So yeah, this isn't, I'm not gonna lie, like this July reading for you, Pisces, like I want it to be better than this, but I just feel like it's almost like you're running in water. Like you just gotta keep going until you get to the end. There is no way around it but to go through it, is what I'm feeling for you. Three of Swords in reverse. So the hardest part of something is already finished. I don't think you feel as sad about it, but I do think it is affecting you emotionally. I think you still are grieving something, but it isn't as bad as it was. When I say grieving, I mean like like the ending, because I feel like there was a divorce or something, you know, or an ending to a friendship or something. There's an ending, and especially with the 10 of Cups being in reverse, it probably has something to do with someone that you were actually close with, had an emotional bond with. And I feel like you kind of come to terms with what has happened, but with the 3 of Swords in reverse, it's like it still hurts though. And I feel like it's still affecting you, almost like if you have a wound. It doesn't hurt as much as it did when it first started healing, but there still is a scab. There's still the wound that is there. You still have to nurture it to make sure it doesn't get infected and reopen or whatever, you know, like you still have to tend to the wound. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. You're focused on work though. It's almost like you're trying to master how to become past this, or how to get past this. What is this 8 of Pentacles here for? 7 of Cups in reverse. You're kind of all over the place. You're lost. Like, not lost. It's more so like you're daydreaming. Like, that's what I keep seeing. Like, you're daydreaming. You have so many things that you have to worry about, but you're choosing to escape it all. You're going within your mind. Like, you're becoming not cold, but you're not dealing with what's there. You're kind of tuning everything out. And then King of Wands, it's almost like you're just doing what your vision is. You're just going after your vision. I don't feel like you're talking to anyone. I feel like you're just kind of like, let me do what I gotta do. I feel like there is an a Libra here, and then I also feel like there's there's a fire sign here. Or maybe it's just this Libra person, but I don't know. For some of you, there could be an air sign and a fire sign around you, watching you, like, just focus on everything, watching you be disconnected. I feel like at the same time, though, there's nothing that anyone can do. Like, this is all, like, you're going through this yourself. Like I said, with Pluto, this is transformation on a huge scale. Usually it deals with internal, but even when we're talking about the planetary alignments, Pluto is way out there. It's isolated, right? And then also it deals with the generations, the generational effects of things, the generational changes. So it doesn't just change in a split second. So it's almost like you're way out somewhere and you have to, like, people are trying to get you to come back to earth, and you're like, I'm too far gone. Okay, so how are you feeling at the end of your July? I feel like you're kind of harsh, or maybe cold or distant is the word, but I feel like when you say things, it's very short and to the point. Knight of Swords. So there's movement happening. I think it's kind of slow. Maybe you're having a different, like, speed, changes in your mindset. Knight of Swords. I feel like there's movement. That's all I can really say. Like, you are moving, but you're not, I don't feel any emotion. It's all like you're going with the flow. You're very systematic about it, logical. How are you showing up? How are you showing up? Stability. So yeah, focus on your work, staying around family. The Hermit, quiet, not really saying anything to anyone. Trying to figure out, you know, what you're learning, what the lesson is in all of this. Staying focused. So it's not that it's bad. It's just not you, Pisces. This isn't you. But I also feel like it's not necessarily your fault. This is just something you have to, like, learn from. You have to go through. It's an experience. I tell you guys all the time, Pisces, you're here to experience. Like, we're all here to do that, but especially Pisces, okay? So let's see if there's anyone around you throughout this time, and I want to specifically make it to where these are people that you can actually go to, you know, to feel comfort or to maybe just feel safe, because I feel like you feel very isolated. So let's see. One card came out, all earth signs, so Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Okay. Also, anyone who makes you feel comfortable. It could be people from your childhood. I feel like family is a big thing with this card as well. So yeah, like I'm saying, just 10 of Pentacles. People that are probably in your family for the most part, are people who make you feel safe. People that you can cry and ball up in front of and they're not going to judge you for it. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Not very many emotion, but you're feeling, but you're not expressing that feeling, and you're very in your head right now. Throughout this whole July, that's what I was saying. So let's get the moral of this story. What were you supposed to learn throughout this July? Temptation. So with this card, The number 1 and plus 5 is the number 6. So it's about self. Like I said, this is all about you, but this isn't you. So I feel like throughout this month, there will be times where you're kind of tempted to go certain ways. And interestingly enough, with Pluto being here and temptation, I feel like this is like fire and ice, right? And so it's almost like you can either explode, or you can be super aggravated, or you can be super mean, or you can disconnect. You can become super cold, icy, and not want to talk to anyone. You could disconnect and sabotage yourself as well. There's all these ways you can go, but I feel like your job is to try to find that median spot for yourself and stay floating, because I just feel like you can go to the very deep bottom of the sea, or you can go outside of the ocean, and as a fish you won't have any, you won't be able to breathe. So it's almost like you have to find that median, right? Float. Like you want to float. And I think that's the whole point of this July for you. It's not to try to understand what's going on. It's not to try to fix everything. It's more so to just try to get through it, because I think in August there's going to be definitely shifts for you, but there's going to be a little bit more like room for you to understand what's going on. Right now you just got to get through the month, okay? So that's your homework. Get through the month, and don't self-sabotage. Don't don't do things that won't help you in the future, in other words. And I think it'll be safe to just stay to yourself, but to also still try to be around people so that you don't go into recluse mode and have this weird escapism issues or whatever. So I really hope that this helps, Pisces. I just feel like there's kind of this somber energy over your July. You could just be in your feelings, but I do think there's been like a divorce or an ending or some type of transformation. So just stay strong, hang in there. If you need me to talk to you, or if you want extra information, you can always get a private reading with me. You can sign up for my Patreon. I have an Instagram where you can go look over there for, sometimes I post like inspiration things. Sometimes I post things that are funny that might make you smile. So yeah, but just try to figure out what works for you at the end of the day, because this is all about you. Okay? And whatever this hurt is, don't let it consume you to the point where you're no longer your Pisces self. Okay? You're all about connectivity. So if you disconnect, then that's not a good thing. Okay? So yeah, with that being said, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me. I know that this was late, but you're going through some transformations, and I am too, honey. Okay? So we're going through this together. I'm a Pisces midheaven, so I feel it too, okay? And my Pisces has Jupiter in it, okay? So I feel it just as big as you do. I get it. So yeah, just stay safe and keep moving forward. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.